Liverpool getting those exits at their home of Anfield on the first night of the second leg, and it was in the penalties where PSG got the doors for Liverpool to get those exits, and it is again in the Madrid derby. It is Atletico who has been robbed by VAR, and Real Madrid has got those doors open for them in the quarterfinals round. What is that robbery which is happening in the Champions League? Dortmund has got those wins over Lille. Oh my God, who was expecting that Dortmund was going to win over Lille? Oh my God. Aston Villa, on a clear note, has got that victory over Club Brugge, and on an aggregate 6-1, they are making it to the quarterfinals. Unai Emery's men are making that consistent enough in the Champions League. PSV Eindhoven in the second leg managed to get 2 goals out of Arsenal, but that first leg disaster of 7-1 and on an aggregate of 9-3, that is Arsenal, Mikel Arteta's men. These are the two English Premier League teams who are making it to the quarterfinals, the top 8. Hello guys, welcome back to another episode with FC Ramsay, and back-to-back 2 nights we had the watch along. Liverpool got those exits from PSG, that was at their home, and in the penalties, that was some sort of miserable penalties from Liverpool strikers at their home. But the game we are talking about is Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid in the second leg. That too at the stadium of Metropolitano, the home of Atletico Madrid. That was a disaster. This gameplay wasn't what it was required, and the VAR decisions, time and again, Real Madrid getting those advantages. But where is that clip which is showing that it is Julian Alvarez who has got that touch? But to talk about it, it is again the defeat of Pep Guardiola, because Julian Alvarez in this season in the Champions League, he has been getting those goals, 6 to 7 goals he has got in the season. In the La Liga, he was performing well. He got those moves from Manchester City, leaving Pep Guardiola and his company and going to Simeone's company of Atletico Madrid. But over here, it is again Madrid getting those wins over Pep Guardiola and his Julian Alvarez, and as well against the likes of Simeone. No denying the fact the VAR decisions has been made, and there has been many videos which has been circulating on the Twitter platforms that what it is going. It was also said that it is Ancelotti who is staying on those VAR platforms. That is a miserable post. And also the Real Madrid celebrations which were going on, as well as the likes of Messi's penalty which was taken, and this goal shouldn't be allowed. It was also the clip which was removed on Twitter for most of the times. As well as this thing that Simone has said that if we don't go through, I will donate my balls to charity. So is it that again Papa Roach song which I'm going to make, cut my trash into pieces? No, that is not going to happen, because this is the man. It was the likes of Marciniak, the man, Sesmon Marciniak, the referee on the pitch. From the start of this game, he was doing, but this man has been previously associated with many of the controversies, especially the previous year where Bayern were facing Real Madrid, and those referee whistles which he blew so early. He has even apologized and to the Bayern fans about stating that he has whistled those referees. I mean, referee whistles, he has blown it quite early, not giving those opportunities for Bayern to end that game. But then also, this is the game which we will be talking about, is the likes of Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid at the Metropolitano. See, guys, the lineups over here, if we have a look at it, no denying the fact, it was the game which started with Real Madrid over here. Just look at that. It was the lineup which Simeone got against the likes of Los Blancos, but Los Blancos with the availability of Bellingham and Modric in the squad. Carlo Ancelotti just couldn't put Bellingham in the first leg because he was on a suspension, but in this, he puts Bellingham and Modric, the 2 changes which he made. Mendy, Rudiger, Asensio, Valverde were there on the centre-back options. It was Tchouaméni on the defensive mid-pitch, Rodrigo, Mbappe, and Vinicius, but it was the likes of Brahim Diaz who started in the first leg. These 3 were the changes from the likes of Real Madrid, Los Blancos, and from the likes of Simeone. He also made those changes from the first leg. It was in the second leg where he brought in Reinildo and Gallagher on the left part of the pitch, but in the first leg, it was the presence of Samuel Lino and Xavi Galán on the left part of the pitch. It was those Valverde moment in the first leg where Rodrigo got those 3 minutes goal. But in this lineup, to talk about it, oh my God, that was something we just couldn't have imagined. It was under 30 seconds to be precise. It was just a 2-second goal which got Atletico Madrid the equalizer. The first leg ended with 2-1, but in the second leg, in just 27 seconds, the goal which was scored, it put Atletico Madrid on a great aspect. It was the goal which was happening, and Gallagher, the man, I mean, to talk about it, Los Blancos were not that ready after that kickoff. Griezmann and his company with the associates of Simeone making it look good, but starting from the watch-alongs team, we were saying that Diego Simeone, the way his team has played against Barcelona, that 4-4 equalizer which they got, The first 2-0 which they got it against Barcelona, and later on they made it that 4-4. The same way they are going to play, because Simeone and his company has been setting and building up this team from a long time. And Simeone, with the presence of one Brazilian, most of them are French, most of them are from Spain, and he has been doing it good. Some of them from Argentina as well. His son, it is the likes of Almost Simeone who is making it big. But then also Alvarez and company, Griezmann, after that first goal lead, I don't know what happened to them. They were playing those typical games. But this Madrid derby, in the past 3 meetings in the La Liga, it was a draw most of the times. It was the last meeting in the Champions League where Real Madrid has got a win over Atletico Madrid in the past 4 meetings to be talking about. But all the UEFA Champions League stats, if you talk about, it is the Atletico Madrid who, after this loss in the penalties, has made it 5 consecutive straight exits from the UEFA Champions League under the hands of Los Blancos. Los Blancos, on the other hand, were not making those changes in the first half. It was looking sluggish, everyone was expecting, and the win probability was moving more to the sides of Roji Blancos. Suddenly, out of nowhere, in the second half, the substitutions which were made, which came in, it was the Vinicius Jr. who got that yellow card. It was the likes of Ancelotti making surprise substitutions. I haven't seen Ancelotti making those substitutions so early. He brought in Tchouaméni, dropping to the sidelines, and bringing in Camavinga in the squad. I was expecting to Brahim Diaz to come, but again it was Luka Modric who was called off the pitch, and Lucas Vazquez on the right backs. My goodness. Ancelotti, with this substitution, I couldn't understand why this was happening. I was expecting more of Arda Güler and Brahim Diaz to be coming in to make those creativity which Madrid was lacking in the whole game. And then also Ancelotti didn't make that. After that, it was the substitutions and those yellow cards, those movements which were going on. Atletico Madrid were looking subtle, not making those changes. They were getting those shots, those stats, but not clinical enough to get past Timo Courtois. And yes, Timo Courtois, to be talk about, there wasn't much of the difficulties for him. Neither was that for Jano Black to be causing it. The game was going on so good, but Mendy was later dropped in because of those injuries, and Eric and Frank Garcia was called in. Roberto Carlos, which Real Madrid has got, and Rodrigo was the man who was substituted, but Bellingham was kept into the squad. He wasn't that performing. He was getting those obstructions for the Atletico to be making on those counters. But in the build-ups, Bellingham wasn't looking that good. But Brahim Diaz coming in, not making those significant changes. And then Simeone went for the substitutions of Gallagher, bringing in Lino, Simeone dropping down, Correa coming in. It was Griezmann moving out, Sorloth coming in, Lenglet the man moving out, Normat coming in, Rodrigo de Paul, many substitutions, both Molina coming in. Then it went to the extra time, up to the 90 minutes. This game just couldn't come to a decider. It went on to the extra time. The previous night, we were having Liverpool and PSG went to the extra time. And the same way this game went on, it was something disheartening from Atletico, because they got so many chances, but they were not getting clinical enough to get. Lenglet to be talking about, he was getting those headers. It was the likes of Gimenez who were getting those headers from the corners. It was those free kicks which they were giving. They were getting enough chances to score that second goal. But the Roji Blancos just couldn't end this game up to these 90 minutes. It was then Ronaldo, the man on the injuries. Simeone has to make the substitution. Azpilicueta, back from the injuries into the squad, made his appearance after quite a long time. And then it was moving on to the second half of the extra time. Finally, Vinicius Jr. was called onto the sidelines just on the verge of ending. But Vinicius Jr. in this game missing a penalty, which Kylian Mbappe won it, and Kylian Mbappe not taking that penalty and gave it to Vinicius Jr. to convert it. And Vinicius Jr. in that second half, getting that penalty shot, it was nowhere near the net. It was a big blunder from Los Blancos. It was also the things not happening good for the Roji Blancos, except the first 30 seconds where they got those equalizers on an aggregate. The away goals are not going to be deciding in this fixture of the UEFA Champions League. And this all went to the penalties where the disaster was happening. But to carry on this game, it was this man, Simon Marciniak, who was getting it good. But in the penalties, it all started with Kylian Mbappe getting that first goal from Real Madrid, Alexander Sorloth from the likes of Roji Blancos getting that equalizer, Jude Bellingham netting it good, but Julian Alvarez, he nets that. But on shooting that ball, he has a fall on the pitch. That was something which was not at all good. I mean, this was the most controversial decision which happened. And in this, Julian Alvarez having a fall on the pitch while taking that penalty shootout, it wasn't quite evident that he has a touch on that, but it was said that Ancelotti is sitting on those VRs and making those decisions. That is hilarious. Real Madrid getting those celebrations as well. And the likes of Messi getting those World Cup goals has also made the critics silence about it. That Messi has got that World Cup goal. It has also got his touch. But finally, it was Simeone who was making those relentless. Post-match conference, he was saying that it was Ancelotti who was a bit silent on it. But this happened with that Julian Alvarez second penalty which was taken, which went into the nets, but it was declared no goal by VR, and the referee on the pitch, Simon Mersenac, consulting that to the VR officials, declared that a no goal. After that, it was Valverde getting 8, Angel Correa netting that goal, but Lucas Vazquez from Real Madrid. Oh my God, Lucas Vazquez, what is that? You are the captain of the Los Blancos and you are missing penalties. What is that? It is a shit. Lucas Vazquez missing that penalty. It was a shit moment which could have converted it. But Atletico Madrid, on the other hand, from the likes of Marcus Llorente, also misses that penalty and this ended. But finally, it was on the 5th one where Antonio Rudiger made that penalty good. It touched the gloves of Jano Black, but that touch from Jano Black wasn't sufficient enough to prevent that goal of Antonio Rudiger to be getting it into the nets. That was all. It was the chances which Atletico Madrid definitely got it. And yes, fans might be saying that it is those VR moments, it is those muscle memory moments, it is those Real Madrid and the likes of Papa Perez sitting on the VRs making that happen. But no, guys, that isn't the story about it. It was all about the nerves. It was all about the cool moments. It was all about the aspects. Real Madrid has been getting those Champions League wins time and again. It was in the previous season where they got it over Manchester City and doing nothing for those 120 minutes and winning that in the penalties. The same thing happened with Atletico Madrid. Pep Guardiola getting those exits. It was some moments where Real Madrid could have been seen that they haven't got those penalty opportunities, Kylian Mbappe falling inside the box but not getting it. But it was then also the lack of composure from Atletico Madrid in the gameplay. They were looking rock solid. They were doing it their best. They were doing it everything to win it, but they were not getting clinical. They were getting those headers. They were getting those corners. They were getting those free kicks. They were getting those box-to-box movements on the pitch. Alvarez was clinical, Griezmann was clinical, Sorloth was doing good upon his substitution. It was Correa who made his first touches so impressive, but Los Blancos in the midfield were a bit of losing things a lot. But then also they gave their best up to that last moment. It was that last goal from Antonio Rudiger who nets it, and then Real Madrid gets that win. It is that whole story which we are saying that it is the muscle memory, Real Madrid winning it big. No denying the fact, you can't deny Los Blancos because they have been playing the Champions League season time and again. Most of the matches, up to the finals, up to the quarterfinals, up to the semi-finals, they have made it big. Atletico Madrid, I mean, I'm too sorry for the fans that they have been commenting that was some sort of VR controversy on it. But I don't think so that it is going to happen, because when a decision has been made and VR officials have checked it, it is definitely UEFA will give that statement to it, will be looking for it. But it is not the fault of any referees on the pitch. He took the consultation of the VR officials and it was made. No denying the fact things happened and Los Blancos are moving it into the next quarterfinals. But the most amazing thing over here is, just look at this. This is the thing which I was just hoping for, and in one of our predictions, it was also looking good. It is on the right side of the bracket where the likes of Barcelona and Dortmund are going to play. I mean, Niko Kovac, the new manager, who is on a roll of Dortmund getting those wins over Lille, will face Barcelona, who has defeated Benfica. Barcelona has got Hansi Flick, German manager. Dortmund has got Niko Kovac, the man who is that Austrian on the pitch. It is the likes of Bayern going Inter. It is a German side against an Italian. Bayern has got Vincent Kompany. Inter Milan has got Simone Inzaghi. Big clash on the right part of the top 8. And on the left part of the bracket, look at that. It is Arsenal, Mikel Arteta's team against Milan. Oh my God. Mikel Arteta has got Real Madrid to play. Will he make it or not? That is something I would say you guys have to let it know. And on the other hand, PSG with the likes of Luis Enrique against the likes of Aston Villa. PSG will again face an English club to move into the next rounds to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Unai Emery and his men at Aston Villa have been doing good. Aston Villa has got those transfers. They are mentally prepared to take on the big likes of PSG, Real Madrid and Arsenal over here. And it is the likes of Bayern and Inter, as well as the likes of Barcelona and Dortmund. So what are your say about the controversial decisions which Julian Alvarez got getting those double touches on the pitch, and his penalty was declared a no goal by VR? And what are your predictions about the top 8s which are going to be playing from the April 9th, the first leg, the home and away? Give your predictions on the comment section. And yes, before ending this, give us those likes, share and subscribe. Keep going, guys. Bye-bye. And Hala Madrid, win it big.